but they didn't have the tools we have today. And discover you don't need it because the biodiverse soil slowly got into it, and also had some other people join me. There were some associations in Italy of farmers growing grapes in natural ways, and I discovered, they discovered, and we talked about it, and we noticed that if you have a very biodiverse soil in terms of weeds, insects, and bacteria in the ground, then the soil regenerates itself, and you don't need to fertilize. You will not have a yield which is the same as if you were using chemical fertilizer and modern varieties, but you still have a pretty good yield, half of it, and the grapes are healthy. And that's due to the fact that you recreated a biodiverse system, and you recreated something that can self-sustain. You don't use the soil as a support, and you adapt your technique to nature, and you don't adapt nature to your technique, which is what we do wrong with the conventional agriculture. We try to grow things in a quantity that soil cannot sustain, and that's why it's called sustainable agriculture, because it's sustainable what you do. You can probably last forever that way. And then, of course, you analyze the soil and you realize, oh, wow, there's a lot of bacteria. And then you analyze the type of plants and insects, and you say, oh, there's a huge variety here. So many flowers, so many plants. And then you realize that some plants are fixing nitrogen, some other plants are adding this, some other bacteria are helping the grapes growing and absorb nutrients. And you analyze my wine and you say, wow, there's more antioxidants than other wines. So, and there's more complexity. Then when you ferment those grapes, the fermentation naturally occurs because you haven't put chemicals in the vineyards. There's a lot of yeast and bacteria, and all of a sudden it ferments quickly and in a pretty clean way. The terroir that you bring it to the table, and also you drink in history, because it's a product that has a precise history, and it's those grapes, that land, that way of making it, which is I call them archaeological wines, because you can trace them back to 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and they've been constantly made this way with those grapes in that way, with no difference. So you're drinking history, which what you're supposed to do with these products. It's a cultural act. We don't drink this because we're thirsty. We drink this for an occasion, knowing that you're drinking that particular place and that particular type of wine. That's important. Our culture is based on that. At least the Mediterranean culture is based on these type of things. You're eating and drinking historical thing. You are from there, and that's what you do. It's a social act, and that's what built the Mediterranean. And we call it it's deconstructed. When you don't do it anymore, you're just killing your roots, and people get lost.